Hello, Capricorn. This is Sage, and it's time for your reading finally. This is the altar that I set up for you. So, I set up a few runes and stones for you. It's just a smoky quartz. I felt like I needed it. Maybe you need it too. And here we have the runes for like protection and wealth, but also cooperation, gifting, exchanges, and knowing, illumination. And the funny thing is, when I was drawing these two out, they came out kind of like standing on their sides. So with runes like these that are transparent, that can be viewed from behind like that, I think of it as ebbing and flowing, Usually when a rune like this comes up, backside front, upside down, then I would just not count it and put it back in my pouch. But with these runes, since they are transparent, I do read an ebb and flow, like cooperation ebbing, cooperation flowing, things like that. But these two came up on their sides, which makes me feel like, cooperation from friends and like other people going through similar things as you, and gaining realizations is something that just um, happens every now and then, like flickerings, not enough to say that it's a strong flow of these energies, but not so less that it's a ebbing of these energies either. So so it looks like you have friends, company, and realizations that come with it. They're kind of like always flickering around you. This one though came up reversed. I better just put it there. So maybe like the fun part of these exchanges are sort of fading for you, and maybe the serious stuff is coming up right now. Things to do, like obviously we have the rune for protection over here, and the fact that it's here means, especially from obsidian, it kind of means that you do feel unsafe, like maybe you do have a lot of like uncertainties and things like that in your head. Maybe it has to do with finance, since the rune for wealth came up here. So yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, Capricorn. I got you. Yeah, like, so this is one of the decks that came up for you, the Angels and Ancestors Oracle deck. So quickly, let's just see, Capricorn, what angel or ancestor is going to help you out at this time. Maybe there's a lot of like money concerns, and although the friends have been helping you, the help and whatnot, like at least you're over it. You kind of are at a point where you want to like sit and process all of these exchanges probably. So let's see. Wow, I didn't even have to pull it out myself. It just leapt out of there. Okay, let me just arrange this. Okay, so very interesting. You've got the Shaolin Master and the She-Wolf. Both of them seem kind of familiar. I don't know if it came for your previous reading or someone else's reading, but you know, it really snapped out here. So so you might have unleashed the wolf within, unleashed the wild within, but you haven't mastered it yet. You know, you might be a little clunky. So the Shaolin master is here with the she wolf to help you find more grace, more movement in a different direction. You know, so another thing that came up for you is the deck, the universe has your back. So the universe really does have your back, Capricorn. You're fine. You know, we're gonna make it. We're gonna not just survive but thrive. So let's see. Yeah, the cards are just coming up for you today. My happiness is a direct reflection of my level of faith in the universe, okay? My happiness is a direct reflection of my level of faith in the happiness. My happiness, okay. Okay, so this is nice. My happiness is a direct reflection of my level of faith in the universe. Okay, so yeah, I get it. You know, I get it. You're not able to be happy right now because you don't have a lot of faith in the universe. According to you, you know, if good things happen, bad things are bound to happen too. Or, you know, yeah, maybe your life has just been a long wait of, like, you know, waiting for the other shoe to drop always. So yeah, every time there's uncertainty, and you know, life is full of those. So anytime there's uncertainty, you're not able to enjoy the happiness that can be extracted from your life at all times, you know. So that's what I see over here. Interesting. So, okay, let me just put that back. That's interesting. So, sorry. So the other deck that came up for you was also the Herbiary deck. So let's see. Let's see. So, like a medicine for the wildness in you, right? Let's get you some medicine for the wildness in you. So we have integration coming up, and it was upside down too. So I guess I'll have to pull up another card. Defying gravity. Integration, defying gravity. So that's interesting. So defying gravity often comes up when we do feel that pull by our past selves to just, you know, be the way that we've always been before, instead of like doing the hard thing, defying gravity, you know, moving up another level. Integration is what's going to move you up another level, but maybe, you know, it feels too hard, and maybe you need a reishi mushroom to support you in that endeavor. You know, maybe you need a little bit of reishi to help you climb up that, you know, those last few mushrooms. Yeah, like maybe you just need a bit of, maybe like, yeah, really, Capricorn, it looks like, you know, you are integrating this wildness that you've unleashed from yourself, but it is hard to climb up the last few levels, you know, of this integration and stuff. So this is what we have here, and let's see what will help you with like mastery, right? Plantain also came up upside down, so it alone is not enough. So this is about rewilding yourself, which is right here, you know. Yeah, this is to help you rewild yourself, like, and this is also a card that describes, you know, traveling to a different location. And although here it really talks about plantain and how it's really traveled across the world and become quite comfortable in very different natural ecologies. But, you know, in practical terms, a trip somewhere completely different would really help you. You know, it would help you embrace your wild side, because like if you think about it, the people surrounding you right now know the old you much better than they know the new you know. And a knowing as simple as that, an expectation uh, as simple as that, can really hold you back um, from being yourself, you know. So sometimes it takes, you know, going to a new place and reinventing yourself there to really understand, you know, how your wildness actually looks when it's integrated within you know. So let's pull out another card to help support your rewilding efforts. And then we have finding grace, star flowers. So not everything is about, you know, going to a new vacation spot and finding the new you, doing something exciting. No, a lot of the times, a lot of good work is done just sitting doing nothing, you know, because that's how life is sometimes, you know. Sometimes you have to just take a pause, and that act of taking a pause does way more than, you know, any sort of um, active therapy session or self-love session or like what have you, you know what I'm saying. So yeah, as much as you need to go out and about and really give your wild side that the facility, the surroundings, the amenities to really be itself, you know, but at the same time you need a lot of quiet spaces, you know, because this is a very tumultuous time for you. This could feel like a midlife crisis because you don't know who you are when you've just released a part of you that needs to work with the rest of you, you know. So yeah, take some time to find some grace. Take some time, and that's all you really need to do. Taking time is not wasting time. Understand that. That's what your Shaolin master says. You know, taking time is not wasting time. And that pretty much sums up like a big chunk of your reading. But we have another deck that also came up for you, Capricorn. So and that is the Adventure Time Tarot. So let's see what we have here for you. So I've pulled out like everything that could support you, right? She-wolf, anything over here can really help you bring your wild side out. Like look at symbols. Look at the moon, look at the wolf, look at the feathers, look at the paint. You know, any one of these things can be used to help you unleash your wolf within. And your wolf within, your wildness within, does need to be integrated with the rest of you. And yes, you will find it hard to defy the old you, defy gravity, and move up another level. But you can do it, you know. Have some reishi mushroom that can help. And if you're into burning sage, burn mullein instead. Yeah, and then we have plantain. Although better than eating plantain would be going off to a new spot and rediscovering yourself, you know. And don't forget that the quiet moments where you do nothing is just as profound as all the other excitable moments where you're like off having your new adventure, right? And yeah, don't forget, you know, your happiness. You have all the reasons to be happy. You know, you just don't have a lot of faith in the universe, not a lot of faith in yourself or trust in yourself. Maybe also, well, that's understandable. You are uncovering a new part of yourself, and you are seeking to you know, integrate it, master your entire self now, because you know, you're newer than you were before. So let's see what adventures these ancestors speak of. So here we have your support system, and now I kind of want to pull cards like your jumping off the support system and having an adventure. Okay, so integration might help with this, but reishi will really help with this. Plantain might help here, but finding grace will really help here. Okay, so that's interesting. That's very interesting. Okay. Okay, so what we have here is, yeah, integration will help you overcome that feeling of loss. Maybe there is something that you're still grieving over. Maybe that's why every time uncertainty rears its head in your life, you go back to like focusing on everything that's lost and everything that can be lost, you know. So the wildness really helps combat that. Yeah, and surprisingly enough, defying gravity reishi is supposed to help you not be so in harmony with every other person, you know. Okay, so it seems like maybe it is in your nature to go along with everything, like, oh, or maybe it was in your nature to find the most harmonious path, work with other people. You're such a team player. You're such a team player, Capricorn. But like, sometimes it really works against you because like the wolf is wild and wants to roam free, you know. Although the wolf might be part of a pack, it often breaks from the pack to make its own way and then rejoins, you know. And maybe you've had some difficulty doing that, you know. Maybe you haven't had the opportunity to go out on your own, individuate, and come back, you know. You always find yourself part of the herd. So that's interesting. But once you rewild yourself, you won't find yourself part of the herd. In fact, you'll find yourself feeling like an emperor, feeling like you're in control of yourself, you're in control of all the things that you can possibly be in control of, and you're okay with the things that you're not in control of. Like the emperor doesn't live in fear of the universe and what it brings, you know. The emperor is ready to react, to respond um, with responsibility, you know, because he's not just going to respond, not just going to react like he's a maverick, you know, like a wild card, you know. He reacts and responds in a way that does right by all of the people that he's responsible for, you know. So there's a difference. But finding grace will really help you overcome any roundaboutness that you have within you. You know, a lot of people that need to unlock and unleash their wild side, when they are too tame. So you've been too tame, Capricorn. Let's just get that out of the way. You've been too tame, uh, and when you're too tame, you tend to move in circles. You tend to be sneaky. You probably think you're like super honest, but you won't realize until you really observe, you know. A lot of us have this sneaky behavior, and that's a result of a suppressed wild side, because your wild side knows how to go directly after things, you know. It doesn't need to check with everyone if this is okay or that's okay, or if I'm going to step on a few toes if I do this or if I do that, you know. Your wild side can just go for it. So that's what finding grace does for you. It gives you the ability to really pause, take a look at all of your intentions, and try to understand whether, you know, there's a straight line between your intention, like what you want, and how you go about doing it. You know, are you lying to yourself? Are you lying to others? Are you like, you know, going off on a vacation but telling your partner that it's a business trip? You know, things like that. And why are you doing it? Like, are you doing it because um, you know, the usual reason would be, oh, the wife gets mad or the husband gets mad, you know, for no reason. But the real reason probably is that, you know, you're not used to being um, selfish. You're not used to spending money and effort on frivolous matters. You know, maybe it feels better to you to go on a vacation and say it is a responsibility, because it feels more aligned to the image that you put out, you know. But um, the way that star flower can really help you with that is to take a pause and be like, you know what, um, yeah, so you want to do this one frivolous thing that no one will understand. You don't have to lie about it. Or if you lie about it to other people, you don't have to lie about it to yourself. You know, it's that's what this is all about. Because, you know, when you make that transition, when you accept the wildness in you and integrate it with the rest of you, you need to rethink a lot of your intentions for a lot of things, you know. You're gonna be questioning all of them. You're gonna be like, oh, I thought I was doing this because I was a good person. Turns out I'm doing this so that it takes the pressure off me so I can do something frivolous later, you know. And just to make it clear, I'm only using the word frivolous, Capricorn, because you would use it. You know, I don't think it's frivolous. Like the Shaolin master said about the star flower, you know, like literally um, taking time is not wasting time. It's going to help you bring more honesty to your intentions, and that that's priceless, Capricorn. You cannot live lying to yourself for too long, you know. Mastery, grace, power comes from truth. It's as simple as that. So you take all the help you need, you know, but do this. It'll really help you. It'll cut out all of the noise, you know, because that's what suppressing your wild side actually does. It creates a lot of noise, you know, creates a lot of, oh, but I must do this, but I must do that before I do this, and if I do that, then I should do this, you know, that sort of noise. So yeah, this is a very interesting spread, Capricorn, and it looks like you are moving towards integration. You're moving towards more confidence, you know. You're going to be able to take whatever life throws at you without, you know, suffering too much or being locked locked on the loss, you know. There's no need to be locked on what's missing and what's lost or what's gone, or the thing that happened that you had no control over, you know. Yeah, it's time for you to not be a follower or that much of a peacekeeper anymore either, you know. So yeah, this is very interesting stuff, Capricorn. Good luck to you. Good luck.